daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking off fast lane, no coasting. And everything is gonna be all right. We talking about they teasing you for being in love with them tonight. And everything is gonna be all right. They teasing you for being in love with them tonight. And everything is gonna be okay. They teasing you for being in love and feeling that way. And everything is going to work out fine. They teasing you because you feel like, yo, I'm mine on mine. All right. So, Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships. Something looks hazy to me. Hold on, my peoples. I don't know. Does that look more clear? To me, it does. To me, it does. I wasn't feeling that. As a matter of fact, I'm going to do it a little bit more. There you go. There you go. Shine bright, baby. Shine bright. I think that's a little better. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being a little anal. Being a little anal is okay. Being a little anal is okay. Being a little oral is okay. And those, I'm not even being sexual. I'm really not. Those are actual English terms to describe people that are regimented versus a little bit free. A little bit free. Anyway, I hope this week has been going really good for everybody. We have made it till Friday, even though we celebrate Thursday. We always a day behind because we start at night, Monday night going into Tuesday night. So by the time we are covering things, we're covering the day that has passed instead of the day coming up or the day currently in progress. So, like I said, I hope y'all have been having a good week. We have had a pretty hot week, even for August, heat advisory until Saturday. So we're dealing with that over here on the East Coast, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, to be specific, is where we are broadcasting from. But I hope everything is good with you and yours. Like I said, I hope that you're having a good week. I hope that your peoples are in good health. I hope that you are in good health. We're going to have this talk tonight. Tonight, we're talking about teasing you for being in love with them. It would be real nice if in our lives, every time we fall in love with somebody, it's equal. Like, I love you, you love me. We're one big family. It would be great if we could be on the same page with each other, as far as our feelings are concerned, and never have any imbalance as far as the amount of time that it took for us to fall in love with each other, have feelings for each other, and for that to play out. But it's not always the same way. It's not always balanced. It's not always equal. And personally, I don't think that it has to be. I don't think that it needs to be. But a lot of times when it's not, you may be dealing with somebody that is quietly a bit of an asshole. So they may be so full of themselves, or they may think that it's so flattering for you to have shown them the love that you're showing them, that they may make a mockery of you or tease you or, take you for granted when you are doing things for them that show how much you love them or show how strong your feelings are for them. It can be embarrassing. And this is one of those things that make people bitter and resentful after a relationship has ended, and they may feel like, you know what, this person never really loved me. They didn't care about me. And, I may never love again. I don't care what nobody says. I don't care what nobody say. I'm never going to love again. They just took my little itty bitty heart and put it in their hands and squeezed it and squeezed all of the life out of it, all of the life blood out of it. They just squoze and squoze and squoze. And it really does feel like that for some people. It really does feel like that for some people. So, yeah. You got to do what you got to do. But, and listen, our sensitivities sometimes tell us different things about a situation. Like we're not all, our feelings for somebody, our feelings in general don't always tell us the truth. They're not always honest. Our feelings aren't always honest with us about the situation. So sometimes we got to get smacked up a little bit and, and we have to suck up certain things. And it's okay to suck up a situation as long as you're not told that you have to suck up a situation. When somebody tells you that you got to suck up a situation, you're probably not going to be open to sucking up that situation. There's a good chance you're going to feel some kind of way. I don't know. Something just doesn't look right with this whole thing to me. I don't know what it is. I don't know if I'm bugging. Y'all can tell me if you know. But for some reason, I'm not seeing this in HD camera quality. Somehow that looks way better to me. It's like there was a little film over it. I don't like that. I'm a little anal when it comes to sound quality and when it comes to video quality. And I think you have to be like that. But seriously, sometimes our feelings don't tell us the truth about a situation. Sometimes our feelings aren't honest with us about the rationale of a situation. And there are times when we have to really, pull ourselves up by our bootstraps and put things in proper perspective. Like if you've ever been in a situation where you had to tell yourself, like, maybe I am over analyzing my situation because we are together. Not only are we together, but that person does do things for me. They are there for me. It's just that I'm always feeling like I would do anything for this person no matter what. And I'm just waiting for them to want me to do something for them. And they don't seem to be just sitting around waiting for me. I'm waiting for me to want them to do something for me. So there's nothing wrong with being aware of the way that you feel. But when you compare that to somebody else's feelings that are active and telling yourself that because they're not doing what you're doing, then they can't be feeling what you're feeling. And that has to be wrong. It doesn't have to be wrong that they don't feel the way that you feel, but you're going to feel that they should feel exactly how you feel. And that should make everything better. But if you ask yourself, would that make everything better? Okay, maybe it might, maybe it wouldn't. Maybe you do need more evidence that they are there where you are in order to feel comfortable. But to add insult to injury, what if in the way that you are feeling, they are openly showing, they are mocking you? Saying things like, I know I don't have to worry about my phone ringing unless it's you. Like, I feel like maybe you should pay my phone bill because you're the only one that calls it. Even though they may just be teasing when it comes to something like that. If you are unstable in your feelings, but definitely sure and stable in your commitment and your love and your dedication, something like that is gonna it's gonna hurt a little bit. Now, you might think that, well, yeah, if I'm the only one calling you, shouldn't that be a good thing? That means that there's no other competition. But that may not be the way that they told you. And let's say that is the way that they told you. But because of how strong your feelings are for them, it would be easy for you to misconstrue that and take it as a diss. And take it as a diss. And there's nothing worse than being in love with somebody that you feel like is dissing you. Somebody that you feel like is mocking you. Somebody that you feel like is teasing you. Somebody who you feel like is actually putting you down because they know that you would do anything for them and be there for them and just, rock out, rock on, and do the damn thing. What up, T. Carey? Right, morning, noon, and night. It's always great to have my peoples going directly into your site. And Marvina, what's up, Miss Bigby? How you doing? Good to see me some y'all. So that's what we're talking about tonight on the Daily Go Getimism Show. We are talking about teasing you for being in love with them. So are levels is good? Levels is good. 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 Levels good. Levels is good. Yo. Levels good. Levels is good. Yeah. Levels is good. 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 Levels, yo. Levels good, levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good, levels is good. Carla, yo. Levels is good, levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good, 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 levels is good, levels is good. Talk about it, about to get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve. I said, talk about it, be about to get involved. These puzzle pieces right now. Talk about it, be about to get involved. These puzzle pieces right now, we gonna solve, y'all. Be about to get involved. Teasing you for being in love. I don't understand what you want from me. I just wanna see you happy, and I do anything to make it happen. Why are you doing me like I'm just a friend? I wanna be with you from now till the end. Come along and take my hand. I'm your woman, you are my man. Be with me the way I wanna be with you. Understand my loving is true. I've been in love before, so I know how it feels for sure. You tell me what you want, I'm gonna provide my feelings inside. Don't front on me. I said, please don't front on me, yo. One time before I had a lover, but not no more because they took my love for granted. And it hurt more than anything that I was ever experienced, you know. It was like a heart attack. They said it was like a heart attack. And in many ways, it was like a heart attack because it was my heart that was under attack and broke my back and broke my spirit. And Yo, I complained, they didn't want to hear it, so I had to do what I had to do, and they wind up breaking up with me. Can you believe that shit? That's the way love is. This a bitch. I'ma try again, but this is the last time I'm ever trying, my friend, cause gotta be a better way. This involves more than just sex. This involves what's coming next. If I can't look forward to another day, then I might as well be by myself and say, yo, because I can do bad by myself. I can take down my own health. Yo, and my wealth doesn't have to increase. It's not about all that shit. I'm just trying to release the feelings that I feel inside, and I'ma ride till you understand. Yo, it's all about the pride, not the pride that I feel, cause it's not ego. Yo, I go, we go. Yo, you are my love. Don't you understand? I'm trying to follow God's plan. God's plan. Faithful is me. It's all about loyalty. Yo, gotta cut out the crap. Yo, what's the deal? What's the hats? Toe taps. I never tease you, but you wanna tease me. Why you do? Why you do you? I'm trying to be down with this shit. I wouldn't sue you even if you violate it, but you violate every day cause you make me feel some way. What we gonna do, man? I said, what the gonna? I said, what the gonna do, man? Yo, understand this thing that I say. I'm just trying to make a better way. I would give you kids. Take care of the ones you did already had. Cause I'm a hell of a man trying to be a better dad. I know how hard it is growing up without a father figure. So I said, yeah, don't put me down when I'm showing you my heart and my love. Yeah, the beginning and the start. I ain't never going away. I'm hanging there, but you can't play. All right, y'all ready? Urban Therapy with Sun 752 with this your daily. It's the daily go-getter-mism show. You think it ain't when it is? You think it won't when it is? We are here and we are in motion. We do this thing, taking all fast lane, no coasting, and everything is gonna be all right. We talking about teasing them for being in love with them tonight. They teasing you because of the love that you share. The love we have stays on my mind. The love we share stays on my mind. All right, so y'all ready? I am. So teasing you for being in love with them. When the scales of love, the scales of feelings are unbalanced. It's not adding up. The sands in the hourglass ain't falling the same. We not on the same type of time. We're not even on the same type of timeline. What are we gonna do? We gotta do something. So, did y'all understand? Do y'all understand what we're talking about tonight? This is Throwback Thursday. Let's get real about relationships Thursday. And I want to talk a little bit about some Throwback Thursday stuff too. I definitely want to talk about some Throwback Thursday stuff too, because today I was feeling a little nostalgic. I was feeling a little bit nostalgic today. And you know, y'all be having me cracking up lately when y'all be going back talking about, I still haven't recovered, I think, from like the past Monday show or whatever. Was it Monday or Tuesday or whatever? I know I was cracking up on that show. I know that I was cracking up on that show. Maybe it might have been Sunday show. I'm not sure. I think it was Sunday show. It was Sunday show. So I'm going to go back and revisit that. I'm about to go over here and get my chair right now. Here I am. Come on. Come on, Chad, stop acting like that. Come on, son. Come on. It's time to start the show. Okay. Yeah. So what up, y'all? What up, my peoples? Oh my gosh. I've been finished the poll. Like, I swear, I gotta get it. I gotta get it together. My scales are mad unbalanced. I finished that poll 20 minutes ago. Wait, we already been on for 20 minutes. I finished it a half an hour ago. Sheesh. I gotta do better. It's like, you know how you send a text message and you be swearing that you sent somebody a text message? You might ask them, yo, why didn't you ever respond to my text? And they like, what text message? I ain't getting no text message from you. Or they think you're talking about a text message from earlier in the day or another time or whatever. And they like, what you talking about? I've responded to your text. And you like, no, I sent you the text. I was asking you about something. Or I sent you this, that, and the third, or whatever. And you describing it. And you all serious. And they're like, I didn't get no text from you. You know? And you might be like, you know what I mean? Look, why are you always playing games like you ain't getting no text? You know you got my damn text. Do you go in your phone to look at the text to maybe send them a screenshot and you see that you never sent it? That shit was right in your drafts. That's how I feel about the poll question tonight. It was in the drafts. Like, you about to change this, John? You about to change it? You know what I mean? Because it wasn't ready. That food wasn't cooked, dog. That food wasn't cooked. You ain't send me no text message. I didn't ignore no text message from you because I didn't get one from you. I'm going through it tonight. But yeah, so keeping in tune with the topic tonight. Teasing you for falling in love, for being in love with them. You know, I don't know, man. When you really got it bad for somebody, when you really are deeply in love with somebody, it's an uncomfortable position. It can be. Even when somebody makes it comfortable for you, you may be uncomfortable with the situation because your history of being in love might have you on caution. They might have you on a straight yellow light. Imagine being at a yellow light for your entire relationship or for the majority of it. You ain't been on a green light with your relationship since you got on that shit. Since you got into it, I should say. It been a straight yellow light. So, you know, when the yellow light comes, that shit is about to turn red. Meaning don't go. When it's a green light, that means go. You know what I mean? Speed up, whatever. You know, you got the right of way. That yellow light is like, And you know, sometimes you don't know what to do when it's the flashing yellow light. You know, you ever live in a city where late night they have flashing yellow lights and you don't know, you're not exactly sure how you should drive? Like the flashing yellow lights. Like, so does this mean that I have the right of way? No, it means that you show caution whenever you're going through an intersection. Because you don't know if the intersection, you don't know if they have a yellow light or flashing red light. So you better be careful. You know, it could be confusing. But going through having a flashing yellow light or a yellow light for the majority of your relationship means that you're going to be unsure. You're unsure, you're unstable. You know, you lack confidence in the union that y'all have. So when you talk about somebody teasing you for being in love with them, and you're already teasing yourself for being in love, trying to decide how much you should do, how much how much you should give of yourself, how much you should do for somebody, because somebody may have taken your love and your feelings for granted before. And you don't want to see that again. Out of all the things that could happen in this world, you ain't trying to see that shit like, nah, I'm good. I'm good. We not doing that. So if you've been hurt before, if you had your feelings hurt really bad in a situation where you gave all of your love out, where you expressed your feelings crazy, then somebody that you're in love with teasing you in any kind of way can feel like, it can just feel like they just playing around with you. And nobody wants to feel like they got played around with. And once again, like I was talking about in the beginning of the show, sometimes your feelings don't tell you the truth. Sometimes your feelings be lying to you, just straight lying. They ain't telling you the truth. Well, how do you know if and when your feelings are telling you the truth, even when you feel good about a situation? Marvina says, I was always cautious in romantic relationships. And it pays to be cautious to a certain extent. To a certain extent, it pays to be cautious. But when somebody is actively, they may not be doing the things that you're doing. And sometimes you may wonder if they even want to do the things that you're doing or the things that you want to do. You know how like you may already be giving a lot in a relationship, but you're willing to give a whole lot more if that person would just ask. You're not even waiting for them or needing for them to do more for you. You're already giving a lot, way more than they may have received from other people, but you don't know that. But you do know that you have a lot more to give, and you will give that freely if they would ask you. So the fact that they're not asking you can be confusing. Like, well, what am I here for? What am I here for? Have you ever felt like that in a relationship? Well, what do you want me for? I mean, it's a valid question. If somebody never asks you for anything, if they seem laissez-faire about everything, aloof about everything, like, you might be dealing with somebody that doesn't show their hand emotionally a lot. And because you're used to somebody really showing you or displaying their emotions openly, dealing with somebody who keeps their cards closer to their vest might be hard. Like, well, I used to think about immature things, like, do you love me? Do you want me? Are you going to call me like you said you would? Is this really your real phone number? But I'm a grown man, baby, a grown man. And I came a long way. Experience taught me one thing. Told me to hold on to your love. That was from a song I wrote years ago. It was something like, sometimes I just can't help thinking living without you, baby. See, sometimes I just can't help crying about you, baby. I ain't worried about a doggone thing. I take anything you bring. Although my love is sunshine, I still look. All right. Anyway, that was from a song I wrote when I was a kid back in the 70s. But I guess fun. Marvina says, do you even like me? I mean, sometimes you may be in a situation where you really do have to ask that. If somebody isn't, like if you're used to more open displays of affection, like somebody telling you that they really love you and care for you and are glad to be with you. If you're used to that a lot and you're dealing with somebody who doesn't do that, it's going to feel a little strange. And you might not like it. It's going to feel a little strange, and you might not like it. You might not appreciate that. Like, don't wait to tell me how much you feel about, how much you care, how much you love me. Don't wait. I need that. I need that. And there's nothing wrong with expressing your needs for somebody or your needs for anything. There's nothing wrong with that. So when you're already teasing yourself about being needy, being clingy, being responsive, or however it is that you describe it, tag it, assess it, if you're already doing yourself in about it, and then the person that you're with, they nudging you a little bit, they poking fun at you a little bit or whatever, and they may be poking fun at you actually just to poke fun at you. They're not trying to be mean or malicious, or they're not trying to diss you, but because you're so deep in love, you're going to feel some kind of way. You're going to feel some kind of way. Now, this can be, when you're younger, you can expect a certain level of immaturity in the way that you think because you don't know everything. You may have a lot to learn. A lot to learn about life, a lot to learn about love, a lot to learn about relationships, a lot to learn about people, a lot to learn about the world around you, the world that you live in, the world that you are a part of. You may have a lot to learn about that. When you get a few years on you and you figure, listen, I've lived long enough to have figured this thing out. And you know how it is. You in your 40s, 50s, or greater, and you figure, listen, I done been around the block a few times. So I know when somebody is playing around with me, and I'm not going to let nobody play with me. I don't care how much I like you. I don't care how much I love you. I'm not going to let you play with me. You can be 40 years old and be wrong. You can be 45 years old and be wrong. You can be 50 years old and be wrong. You can be 55 years old and be wrong. You can be 60 years old and be wrong about everything that you swore that you were dead right about. We don't always have total control of a situation, especially when a situation is new. Think about it. If we knew everything about relationships, if we had the hang of everything, why do we have breakups on our records? Why do we have divorces on our records? Why do we have broken hearts on our records? Why do we have hurt feelings on our records? And you might say, yeah, I had all of that, but that was in the past. And I learned from all of those things. So that's how I know what I know now. You may have sworn you knew what you knew then when those things were in progress. You may have swore that you knew what you knew while those things were in progress. Learning never stops. There is no end game to that. You keep going and going and going and going and going. You keep going. Yeah, you don't know. You know what I mean? You're never going to know everything about what's going on with yourself. And that can sound disheartening. It definitely doesn't sound what I would call, it doesn't sound positive or encouraging. It doesn't sound encouraging. Well, sometimes life ain't encouraging. You know what I mean? Sometimes life just life's the way it wanna life. Life just be life in the way life wanna life. It ain't life in how you want it to life. Like, yo, come on, man. Come on, life. Life right. Life right. And life like, I don't care how much you try to nudge me or try to threaten me or try to tease me or try to hurt me. I'm a life the way I want a life. I'm gonna life the way I want a life. To all of my peoples out there who want to model their relationship after maybe their parents, you know, it's tough when you may have grown up, excuse me, if you grew up in a 2-parent family and maybe your mom and your dad were very in love with each other and they had, you know, they was together all of these years, you know, 20 years, 30 years, 40 years, you know, your parents celebrating their 45th wedding anniversary. And you ain't got married yet. Or you got 1 or 2 failed marriages, quote unquote failed marriages. I'm going to say quote unquote failed marriages because I look at marriage in a certain type of way when it doesn't work out, when it doesn't flourish, you know, or it doesn't last multiple decades and all of that. I don't like to call it a failure, but you may feel in your heart of hearts that it failed. That just may be the way that you feel. And then you watch your grandparents grow old together till death did them part. You watch your parents grow old together till death did them part. Maybe they still at it. They still at it. They on a golden anniversary together, and you trying to get it together. Like you struggling in your relationships. Now that could make you judge your relationships a lot different, and maybe it may make you judge your relationships unfairly. You know, some families have okay, let's say you grew up in a family where your parents had a lot of kids. There were a lot of kids, you know, more than 4. So 5, 6, you know, children more. You grew up in a big family. Well, sometimes the kids that come from a big family don't want a big family of their own. It's just one of those things. You know, I've known people that were only children and they made sure that they had multiple children. Like, even though they may have done well in their only child upbringing, they may have always longed to have brothers and sisters. You know what I'm saying? You know, somebody, you know, a gang of siblings that they could count on, that they could bounce ideas off of, that they could learn from, that they could nurture themselves if they were the oldest, whatever. So they wanted to make sure that they created a different type of family structure for their children. And they made sure that they had multiple children. Then again, some people who came from big families decided, I don't want any children. Like, I don't want to have children where maybe they just don't, you know, there's so many different reasons that people don't want to have children. And it always sounds strange. Sometimes we call it selfish. Like, yeah, you don't want to have no kids because you're selfish. You don't want to show the responsibility that it takes to raise a child, or you don't want to spend your money on a child or children. And I hate when this is personal for me. I hate when people say that they don't want to have multiple children or whatever because children are so expensive. And I'm like, yeah, they so expensive. And because if your children don't motivate you to hustle, make more money, command more, get your skills set up to be able to command more money, then I don't know what will. But aside from that, whenever I hear black people complain about how much children cost or use that as an excuse not to have children or not to have more children or whatever, I think to myself, we came from slavery. Our ancestors were slaves who had children, multiple children that became slaves for the benefit of a slave master. And when we were freed as slaves, we had to take care of the children that we were responsible for because they were our children. We and many of us could not read, could not write. We were functionally illiterate or totally illiterate, and we still found ways to raise our family, regardless of the money we were making, because no matter how good we were at our jobs, we did not make the same amount of money as our counterparts, our Caucasian counterparts. There was no way that a black person and a white person worked at the same job and the black person made as much as a white person. That just wasn't going to happen. That was barely legal, but it was definitely an unwritten understanding. Like, black people don't get paid as much. We were sharecropping and things like that, even though our knowledge of agriculture was through, off the charts and through the roof. But we were able to take care of our children. We were able to raise our babies. We were able to develop ourselves and advance ourselves. So when I hear people nowadays talk about, I don't want no kids because, kids are expensive and blah, blah. So what? You have to cut down on your Cancun and Costa Rica trips? What? You have to buy the $25 dollar bag of weed instead of the 50 jar? I mean, let me know. Like I said, if having children if your children don't make you motivated to be successful, to go out there, hustle and get it, then nothing will. Nothing will. Maybe jealousy. Jealousy might. But you could be a parent and be jealous too. So, yeah, man. The hell? Teasing you because you're in love with them. Being in an emotionally unbalanced relationship. Being in an emotionally unbalanced relationship. That shit can really get you down. It can really get you down. And at its worst, it can justify you not pouring your feelings inside for somebody. It can justify you holding your feelings back. It can justify you not pouring your all into a relationship that may deserve you pouring your all into it. And that ain't cool. That ain't cool. So what are we doing out here? What are we doing out here? Something weird. Something is weird here. Hold on a second. bro. Okay, cool. We're gonna get it together. We're gonna get it together. Everything gonna be all right. Sorry for the brief interruption. You know how you have something in the back of your mind, you're like, I don't care that it's 2 something in the morning. I gotta take care of this email. Oh, it's not 2 o'clock yet. Oh yeah, so it's still early. I had to send an email. Had to send, you know what? Okay, so yeah. Being in unstable, emotionally unstable relationships where somebody is not giving you what you need is a tough situation to be in. And speaking of not giving you what you need, you may not always feel that confident about telling somebody what you need. Sometimes we just expect people to know exactly what we're going through and what we need and what our expectations are. Sometimes we do. We think that love is supposed to be about. Sometimes we act like love is supposed to be about mind reading. So it's like, all right, we good? We back in biz? I know my mic got cut. I saw the light. Can y'all hear me? Let me see. Okay, we good? Give me a thumbs up. Okay, all right. And I'm like, whoa, 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 whoa. I said, whoa, 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 whoa. What? Can't have the mic going out. Not that we haven't experienced that before, but you know, it has to be reasons for certain things. I don't want to give out the false reasons. The reasons that we can't hear. Why am I seeing this red light flashing though? That's not that's not doing what I needed to do. Oh. Okay. So my microphone, I see that the charging case needed to be charged. And shanana. If the mic goes out for any reason or for any length of time, let me know. Put your hands in the air, wave them like you just don't care. However and whatever you got to do, let me know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? You know, things are getting a little strange right now. I'm trying to get out of the woods. Thanks, T. Carey Wright and Marvina for letting me know that we good now. No, we're not audio challenged up in here. But yeah, getting back to what I was talking about. Being in an emotionally unbalanced relationship or situation can be off-putting. It can be uncomfortable because you know you're just looking for somebody to feel the same way that you're feeling, but you may not have communicated to them exactly what your needs are, or that your needs have developed or changed in some kind of way. We don't always know that shit. So we sometimes think that if a person loves us, then they should automatically know what's going on with us. Now, I'm gonna start being more gender specific when I talk about that, because a lot of women seem to think that if a man really cares about them, then they'll get to know a woman and know exactly what she likes or whatever. And that's not always true. And it's not because a man is not paying attention to what a woman is doing. It could be because women can be very confusing about what y'all want. With a man, normally the things that he wants are pretty much out there on Front Street, even if they are things that aren't good for him. Like if he likes to eat food that aren't really good, that really that don't fit his health, you're gonna know if he has a propensity to go towards those fields. Those foods, sorry. Those foods, you're gonna know. You know, I'm not gonna say that men are more patterned than women are, but I think men are more patterned than women are. They are. That's why when a man is cheating, it's so obvious to most women that he's with. Like they know. Because he starts doing things differently than he does. But with women, y'all like to switch up things a lot. So it can be confusing to a man about exactly what you want. Have you ever dealt with a woman? Or let me just ask y'all, ladies, have you ever been the type that changes your hair a lot, or your makeup a lot, or the way that you look a lot? You know, women read all kinds of magazines or whatever, and they emulate, imitate, demonstrate different looks, you know. I've seen videos where I've seen women actually show pride in switching it up a lot. So like, you want me to be this kind of woman? I can be this kind of woman. I can do this. I can do that. I can do that. You know, it sounds good. Like you're just trying to please the changing desires of your man, but that's not really how most men are. So if you don't communicate exactly what you want to a man all the time, he may not know, because you may be radiating or sending signals of far-reaching changes, and that can make him unstable. Like, yeah, I gotta wait for her to tell me exactly what she wants. Because last week she had long hair. This week she got short hair. You know, now she got a wig on. Now she got a weave in. Now she natural. Now she natural with dreads. You know, all of this may be within a 6-month span or a year span. So oftentimes when a person is changing their appearance a lot, it shows an emotional instability, or an instability in somewhere in your personality or your personal being. There's an instability. Not saying that you always have to look the same way or be the same way. And there's nothing wrong with adding a little variety. But when it gets to the extreme, how do you expect somebody else to really know what you're thinking and how you're feeling when they're seeing these changes? Changes. Changes. Time to face the strange. Changes. Watch out, all you rock and rollers. Seriously. You know, those changes that you may be going through or expressing can be confusing to a man. So you may be sending confusing signals to him, and you're also confused about him because he hasn't told you exactly what he wants. And it could be just a really bad communication issue between the two of you that neither one of you are aware of or that you're acknowledging. But here both of y'all are in the middle of this thing, experiencing this thing, and it could be tough. Really, really tough. So what are you going to do? In your mind, this thing is falling apart because you all deep in love and they ain't showing the same kind of love that you want them to express. And that can feel like they teasing you. They mocking you. Here you are bending over backwards. At least that's how you feel like you're doing. You're bending over backwards to show them how much you love and care and what your dedication and love and devotion is all about. And they ain't doing all that. And it can seem like they just dissing you, like they just playing around with you. It's a cat and mouse game. It ain't always that. But what about when it is like that? What about when it is like they are openly mocking you or teasing you? Now, they may be literally teasing you. And I don't mean that in a bad way. Because when you're in a bad place emotionally in your life, the word tease sounds like dissing or shitting on you. When you're in a better place, teasing just may be like imitating you. Like, have you ever been in love with somebody that had like a distinguishable voice, or like they had these really identifiable mannerisms about themselves? So you may have mocked them. Like you could do them better than they could do themselves. Nicole Ellis, what's good, ma? Good to see me some you. Thanks for coming on through. But yeah. So if you're dealing with somebody that has a personality, a voice, a personality, an aura, an energy about themselves, that's easily, like you could really mock them. It's like, who has a voice? Hollywood, some in entertainment, some kind of way. Who has a voice that you could definitely? Mike Tyson. Mike Tyson has one of those voices, or at least he did as he was coming up. He had one of those voices, one of those personalities that was easy to mock and tease. Well, you might have dealt with somebody that was easy to mock and tease. You weren't dissing them. You wasn't shitting on them. It could have been like hopefully the person that you're dealing with has a sense of humor. But guess what? You have to have a sense of humor too. In order for a sense of humor to go the right way, both parties have to have it. Now, what if your sense of humor is on? Good one, Nicole. Michelle A. Thank you. That's a good one. Easy to mock her. Very easy to mock her. Carla said, yep, he had the little boy voice. He did. And he had a little lisp going on. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. And, Mike Tyson was very sensitive. He appeared to be very sensitive about, people teasing him or mocking him or whatever. Turns out that he may not have been as sensitive as the media portrayed him, but nonetheless, if you're in your own life, if you're dealing with somebody that is easy to mock, easy to tease, easy to imitate, easy to role play, if they are super sensitive, ultra sensitive, it ain't gonna be looked at as like playing around. And you might be in a mental or emotional space where you can't be played with. Can't nobody say nothing around you. They can't tease you. They can't mock you. They can't poke fun. They can't have fun around you. You ever been in love with somebody that you so serious about your love affair with them that you can't even have no fun? You ain't no fun. You a stick in the mud. You keep acting like that, they gonna quit you. If somebody like me, I like to play. I'd be like, listen, you don't start. If you don't start, treat me better, I'm gonna have to quit you. I'm gonna quit you. I don't have no problem. I'll quit you. You know what I mean? I might get back with you, but I might quit you if you don't act right. Like, you keep making me pay to get your hair and nails done, I'm gonna quit you. I mean, you too expensive. You talking about you a black Barbie. Well, the real Barbie only got paid for once. The real Barbie only got to pay for once. Listen. Marvina says, I'm dating that guy that always has a smart mouth, always giving me crap. Okay. Has a smart mouth and always giving me crap. That sounds loaded. Nicole says, when she sings, she sounds mature. When she talks, she sounds like a kid. I don't even think she sounds like a kid when she talks. I don't know what the hell that is. Because even a kid, that voice don't. Michelle A., I ain't gonna lie. I couldn't imagine taking her seriously. I think me and her like the same age or close to it. But to have that much of a big voice when you sing, and then you sound like a squeaky mouse when you talk, like how? How? God blessed her in an interesting way. Before you turn off the lights, let's get one thing understood. If you're gonna make love to me, you got to do it good. 'Cause I'm a hell of a woman, and for me it takes a hell of a man. So, yeah. I ain't never talked to... And when you talk to Michelle A., she talks kind of dumb. There's no other way I can put it. She talks a little dumb. Like, she talks, it seems like her brain patterns fit her talking voice. You like, Now, those are just interviews. I don't know. Nicole says, thank God I'm a comedian. I hear that. You said I cut up. That's what's up. He says, you go out to eat with me, you're going to laugh until your stomach hurts. No telling what I'm about to say. I feel you on that. Yeah, I was a comedian too. Many say I still am. But I'm like, look, I ain't been on stage since 2017. You know what I mean? But hey, you never really lose it. Because when I was doing it, I was doing it. Let me see. Carla says, I wonder if someone else in her family, it could be hereditary. I don't know. Can you imagine a whole family of all the women are like Michelle A? All of them have this far changing voice, like this big range when they sing, with this little squeak when they talk. Like, what the fuck? Nicole says her voice was messed up when she went to the doctor. That's how her voice got like that. Well, sure, it ain't seem to affect her singing voice. That shit crazy. Hello? Welcome to the Daily Go Getimism show.
Hola, papi.
What's going on?
What's going on, papi?
Everything good. Everything good over here.
Levels is good.
Levels is good. Levels is good. Levels is good.
Oh, good. That's good. You know, levels good. What's going on with you, man? How you doing today, bro?
I'm feeling like a real man should. You already know.
All day, man. All day, every day. Everybody in the chat, blessings and peace and chicken grease, all that. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Old school tonight. Throwback Thursday.
No doubt. No doubt.
Most definitely. You know how it is, man. You know what I mean? Me and the bed had a relationship right now.
Look.
Woke up a little bit. You know how it is, 139.
Look, man. Yo, not tonight. Tonight, I was like, nope, I'm going to get this right. I came in on time. Well, at least the time that I scheduled it for. And I took a nap way before. So I would be cool. You know what I'm saying? I was like, nah, I'm going to get it right tonight. Even though I feel like I could afford to be late tonight. I just wasn't.
Yo, bro, guess what happened today, man?
What's
I did
good?
go out there and try to sell some sneaks, right? So while I'm out there, this young boy, he looked about 15, 16 years old. He walking down the street with no shoes on, and his nose is running pretty bad. You know what I mean? I'm like, what the fuck? So I automatically called 911. I'm like, yo, can you send a cop down here? I think it's a special needs kid there's something going on with this kid. He's walking down the street, he got no shoes on, his nose is running, this, that, and other, blah, blah, blah. Turned out he walked out his house unexpectedly. He was autistic.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean, I was like, wow, boy. That's why I keep saying, watch your babies. Take care. Make sure you look out for them babies. But it takes a village, bro. It takes a village.
Yeah.
It takes a village, man. So I mean, it was a good feeling that that the cops came, they found him, they got him in contact with his family, and because he was reported missing.
Yeah.
Yeah, because when the cop had rolled up on me, I was talking to him. I was like, "Did y'all catch him?" He's like, "Yeah, we found him." He said, "I appreciate you calling in." You know what I mean? I was like, "I'm just glad y'all got him, man."
Yeah.
We're just glad y'all got him. I mean, as soon as he walked up, when he was walking up, I picked up my cane. I'm like, when somebody walking down the street with no shoes on their feet and their nose is running pretty bad, I'm like, something get ready to go on. I better get ready with some ass. Yeah. And then I looked at him. I'm like, no, this is a young boy. You know, but back to the show, man. I just wanted to give you insight on something that happened today, man.
That's what's up.
You know what I mean? Thank God for that, bro. Thank God for that. You know, but I was looking at about 10 minutes of the show so I can understand where you was going at with everything. So I'm pretty understanding where you at with it.
Yeah.
You know? And it's not even so much that a person can tease you. Not so much just the teasing part. A person can be jealous of what you do and hinder you from becoming great.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And you already know I've been through that. So I mean, at the end of the day, the teasing part, I've been through the teasing part. Not teasing like, but saying just some flip of the lip, saying smart shit out there. I think Nicole Ellis said the same thing, saying smart shit. I mean, but you really can't say some smart shit out your mouth to me and not think I'm not gonna come back with something. Or sometimes I just be like, you know what? I know if I say something to this person, it's gonna escalate. Because I want to say some heinous shit. You know what I mean? That's what we do. You say something hurtful to me, Or you tease me, I tease you, and when I come back with my shit, don't get upset.
Well, when we talking about somebody teasing you for being in love with them, so
okay.
so we're talking about a situation where you might be so serious about a person that you might be ultra sensitive to things that they might say, but at the same time, that person that you're in love with might be insensitive to how strong your feelings are for them. You know what I mean? So if you're in a situation where that seems emotionally unbalanced, and you're really looking for signals of more balance, more cohesiveness, more at least something that will match your energy of how you're feeling, and you're not getting that, it can be an uncomfortable situation. Like for example, like earlier in the show, I was talking about how let's say let's say you dealing with a woman who say something like, "Well, yeah, yeah, you should pay my phone bill because whenever my phone rings, I already know who it is." You know what I'm saying? Now you could take it like you saying I just call you too much, like I'm bugging you. You know what I'm saying? But or you might take it as, well, are you trying to just show me that, there's no other competition, no other man is ringing your phone or texting you or anything like that, or whatever. It might be a difference in the way that you receive that because she's poking fun at you.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my phone is ringing. If my man ain't standing right next to me, then I already know who it is. Like my regular ring is his personal ring. That's how much he called me. You know what I'm saying? So you might be so sensitive because you so deeply entrenched in your feelings for her that you can't take a joke. You know what I mean? But they are teasing you at the same time. But it just might not be with the same maliciousness as you may be feeling.
Right.
Because you got it bad right now. You know what I mean? Shit is fucked up.
You ever been in that predicament?
I've been in situations where I know that I liked somebody more than they liked me, at least at that time. You know what I mean? And it's uncomfortable. Because you want to make something happen. Now, it was when I was younger and it was really overlooks. You know what I mean? A little bad joint. I'm like, listen, I'm trying to make sure that I get this one, get this one hooked up. And they may not have been showing that same type of energy at that time. It doesn't mean that they never did or never would. But at that time, what I needed, even if it was on an immature level, it was what I needed. You know what I'm saying? So now I haven't been in a situation where they teased me about it, but if they did, it would have hurt. Like, well, damn. You know what I mean? Like, here I am. I'm chasing behind this joint or whatever. I'm all hot and heavy, and she think I'm a nut. So it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
I know I would have bailed out. But sometimes your feelings don't tell you the truth about what's going on. And it can make it seem like you are being mocked or teased or poked fun at, and that's not really what's happening. It's just that you fucked up right now. But it can be a miscommunication issue. Like, I may not have communicated to you that I need more from you in order to feel comfortable. Like, I'll do anything for you, but I need you to let me know that it's okay to do that. Like, I'm not just playing myself. But I may not have said that. I may not have communicated that. And I was saying, like, that's kind of like the difference between a man and a woman. I was like a little earlier while you were asleep, right? I was saying how men normally show what they about, where their interests are, what they like. You know what I'm saying? It's usually pretty consistent. If you know your man like to eat a lot, he's going to show that. If you know that he likes to fuck a lot, he's going to show that. If he likes cars, if he likes whatever, normally his thing is pretty much out there on Front Street. You know what I mean? Whereas some women may change the way they look a lot. And you know, when a person consistently changes the way that they look, it usually means that somewhere mentally or emotionally, they're uncomfortable or unstable or unsatisfied with the way they look.
They have insecurities.
And they always deny that shit. No, what's wrong with changing it up? You know, I'm like, but so not that there's anything wrong with changing it up if that's what you want to do, but you have to understand that the message that you're sending to your man is that you change a lot. So he kind of has to wait for you to say what it is that you're looking for. Because because your physical communication is that you're looking for something, and obviously he can't provide what you're looking for. Like you're taking the reins of this thing. So in order for him to provide for you what you need emotionally, you may have to just straight up tell him. But instead, you like, well, you know, you should know what a woman wants, or you should know what I want. We've been together all this time. We're like, yeah, we've been together all this time, and look how much you've changed in that time. I don't know what the fuck is going on. I don't know who I'm getting, you know, from day to day. Now y'all in the argument.
Yeah, because I was just me and his old head was talking today, right? Me and him, you know, real cool guy. So we was busting up. He's like, well, his wife's daughter went to Miami and got some work done, and she went with her. Little did he know she was getting some work done too. He was like, wait, hold up. One, you didn't have a conversation with me about that. Number two, who are you changing for? Because I love you how you are. What's the reason for your changing? Who are you trying to attract? You know what I'm saying? And that's the whole thing about it, you know, because it takes me out. A woman would do something, make all these changes and hair braids and get the hair cut and do all this shit, right? You'd be like, just like you said, make changes. But as soon as a man put some cologne on, they'd be like, oh, that bitch wants you to put some cologne on. You'd be like, you the bitch that bought the cologne.
Only wear that shit around the house.
You bought this.
That's house cologne. Home cologne.
Home cologne. That's what they should call it. That by Versace. Home cologne by Versace. I'm serious. I can understand where you coming from with that.
So
you know, but
go ahead.
What you gonna say? No, what you gonna say?
No, I was just gonna say, you know, the miscommunication thing is serious. Like okay, like look at the example that you just gave. Now Nicole Ellis in the chat, and by the way, peace to Shirley Shirl, the world's most precious and greatest pearl in the world. And let me see who else came through. Bossalina was good.
Yeah. What's going on, Bossalina?
So you know, when in the example that you just gave, and Nicole Ellis in the chat, she said when a woman is changing her hair or whatever, she's trying to feel good about herself. Now, you got to understand that a man is going to look at it like, well, why isn't she counting on me to make her feel good about herself? Like if I tell her that she really looks good and I really appreciate how she keeps herself up and I think that she looks beautiful the way she is or whatever, that doesn't seem very reinforcing to her. But as men, we have to understand this about women. And I was talking about this earlier in the show too. You know, women grow up watching, looking at all of these magazines, you know, Cosmopolitan, Vogue, and all of that shit. So they see a lot of different things. and it creeps up. It creeps into their mind that it's okay to look a certain kind of way, or in a more destructive kind of way, it might tell them that they have to look this kind of way. So where magazines left off, the internet picked up. So women, middle-aged women, young women, middle-aged women, whatever, now they're seeing how they have this real big ass millions of people database that they can see of how they're supposed to look.
Right.
And none of it is really real, but just like they were looking in the magazines before and getting ideas from that about what was acceptable or required, now it's the internet and you're seeing it in real time. And now it's even worse because you got AI. You got the fake making you think that you're supposed to look like the fake for real. All of these messages are coming in there. And you're home with your woman, not even realizing that she's getting all of this false information and basing her decisions off of that false information. And you like, well, what happened to, me and you giving each other that information? To her, you sound like you teasing her. Like she don't know how to make her own decisions or think for herself.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And at the same time, the miscommunication is telling you, well, you don't give a fuck about what I like because I've been telling you how good you look since the fuck I first met you. But you don't give a fuck about that. You want to look good for the internet or maybe another man or some other man or something. It sure ain't for me because I ain't asked you to do none of that shit. So, once again, when you're in an uncomfortable situation, it can look like somebody is teasing you and they're not. But the communication is done. It's fucked up.
Yeah.
But sometimes they may actually be teasing you.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know you ain't going nowhere because ain't no way you could deal without, deal with life without me. And it might be true. At the time, it might actually be true. Shoot. I mean, you haven't been in love if you what kind of being in love or what kind of love makes you feel like, well, yeah, if they gone tomorrow, I could deal with it.
Yeah.
Like, what the fuck?
Mm-hmm. And I've heard people say, I don't need you. I can do this on my own. Okay. And then when you got to do it on your own, then you complain.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can't. Like I said before, you can't complain over spilled milk when you pour the milk. You know what I mean? When you create the drama, and then you create the situation, and now you got to face all the you got to face your dilemma of what you created. That's on you. There's nobody can do to help you unless you're willing to listen to what, like you said, the communication part. And I said that communicate, listen, and accountability is the three major things in a relationship. And when you sit back and the teaser, like I remember talking to somebody, and I was like telling her, I'm on your side. I'm on your side. I don't even know what's going on. I'm on your side. I don't need nobody rooting. I don't need you to be rooting for me. You took me being supportive that to me that was teasing. Like I'm a damn cheerleader. I'm not cheering for you. I'm being supportive.
Mm-hmm.
Big difference. And yes, I will take offense to that. You know what I mean? Because if you looking at me as me rooting for you or being a cheerleader, like you some fucking football team or something within your own ranks. No, that's not how it goes. Every man's supposed to be supportive of their woman. Whether whether you got to go to the hospital, go to a doctor appointment, however, shit, whatever she's doing that piques her interest, if you want to be supportive of that. I mean, she having a hypothetical. She part of a book club. Book club come to the house. You look if she doing all this stuff, I'm gonna go ahead and throw something together for y'all. I mean, let me cook something for y'all, and I'm gonna just go upstairs. Being supportive. That's not rooting for you. You know, sometimes you got to change your terminology and stop thinking that somebody coming at you is understanding that somebody is on your side and being supportive. You know, and when you say things out your mouth, it can be considered you teasing them. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The fuck is going on?
I mean, it's constructive. I think that there's destructive criticism, destructive teasing and constructive teasing. Like if you sit up here and you tease your man talking about you can't handle this shit when you come in his bedroom, you can't handle it. I think that's more, now that's something that's like hyping him up. Like I'm gonna destroy this motherfucking shit when we get in this bed tonight. And that ain't about bad time to tease a person. That's a good teasing. You know what I mean? Now, when you sit back and say, motherfucker, don't know how to eat this or this shit's small, and now that's destructive. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now you not only are you disrespecting this man, you disrespected him as a sexual partner. You know what I mean? So I just thought about that it is two different types of teasing. You know what I mean?
Shoot, it's way more than that.
Yeah.
Way
You ain't got
more.
no damn boogie hanging from your nose. I see you wiping your
You know,
nose.
like, I'm like, I can't even believe I fell for that dumbass shit. I can't even believe I fell for that nut ass shit. You know what? You got me, dog. You got me.
I'm like, what the hell? I'm running. I'm like, you
know?
Oh my God. They got you. They teasing you.
Hold on. Something weird going on with my page. I gotta refresh my monitor.
Yeah, man, but I mean, at the end of the day, you know, like what other type of teasings do you think of it is?
I mean, you can have playful teasing, and when I say teasing you for being in love with them, I'm not talking about something that's constructive. That's definitely destructive. That's not cool.
Yeah.
You know, that's definitely not constructive. And so
I can't even breathe. Every time I try to move in the bed, you always next to me.
Well, that's not teasing them about being in love. See, when somebody teases you about your feelings for them, that's going to hurt.
Yeah.
You know, teasing about other shit that they might be personally sensitive about, that's one thing. What the fuck is going on?
If you tease somebody about them being in love with you at some point in time, they're not going to be with you no more. Or they'll stick it out with you and just go move and be having these little side pieces. You know what I mean? Sometimes it's just best to shut the fuck up. You know? And that's on both sides, men and women. You know, I don't want nobody to think I'm chauvinist like that. You know, but everything starts with communication, like you said. You have to, you know, and honestly, not just communication, listening and looking. Sometimes you gotta ask your woman what she wants, what she wants. You should know what she wants sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Okay, so when I say teasing you about being in love with them, so that can be like somebody saying, well, you know, you better treat me right because ain't nobody else gonna ever want you. You know what I mean?
They don't.
Now they could be playing around, but that's not going to feel like playing. When you might actually be that deep in love to whereas you're feeling that like, well, yeah, I mean, it ain't like you the only person that has ever wanted me, but right now it would hurt my feelings to lose you, and so. You know what I mean? Like saying something like that, like, hey, ain't nobody gonna want you. Ain't nobody gonna want you because whatever you might be sensitive about right now. And because so many people believe that the feelings on both sides of the relationship have to be equal. Like they have to be congruent, like they have to be balanced. And it doesn't really have to be that way. What it does have to be is fulfilling on both sides. And that's where the communication comes in. Like, I don't have to feel how you feel. Only you know how you feel. Now, we can show evidence of being on the same page, but we'll never be able to say that we feel exactly the same way about each other at all times. But when I tell you, or if I tell you that I need something from you that I'm not getting because it makes me feel like I'm just spinning my wheels or like I'm stuck in neutral, but pressing on the gas. Like, when you're in a car and you got the car in neutral, you could press on the gas and be making all of this noise with the engine like you really going somewhere, but you ain't moving nowhere. And that's what the miscommunication can feel like. So sometimes you gotta open your mouth and say exactly what you need, what you want. Mm-hmm. Like, listen, I might need some things from you sometimes just to feel all right. Like it could be anything. Maybe like maybe you need a back rub, a massage, or some shit like that. You know what I mean? It'll help you relax. And maybe you're always massaging your woman. Right. Like, well, how come I can't get? I mean, can I get a massage every now and then? Whatever. But she might be thinking like, well, he likes to give massages, so I let him do it. I really enjoy it. You know what I'm saying? But everything ain't reciprocal. Sometimes you have to let people know, and also you should let them know that you're not doing what you're doing just to get the same thing back, because that's really not cool. Yeah. That's really not cool. Even if sometimes you might feel that way. Like if you always going down on her, but she never goes down on you, you're like, well, men do like to get their dick sucked every now and then, right? Like just, Well,
I ain't never do that in my whole life. Okay.
Oh, then we wasn't together. It's simple as that. But yeah, man, it's somebody teasing you about being in love with them. It might not be coming from a good place. Seriously. Yeah. Just because you in love with somebody don't mean that you in love with a good person. Who hasn't been in love with an asshole before? You know what I'm saying? All right. Everybody heart ain't in the right place. Not with you.
I have Mr. Carter. Mr. Carter. I have the. Mm-hmm. Shit. You absolutely correct. You know what I mean?
And your woman more than likely has been in love with an asshole before too.
Yeah.
And the way it weighs on her is going to be evident in the way that she in the way that she deals with you. So she might put you on a timeline, because when she gave freely before, she got her head bitten off for it. So now she might be, instead of dealing all the cards out at once, she might be dealing them shits real slow. You know what I'm saying? Real slow. And you might not even have a problem with the way that she's dealing them, but you have to understand that she's very delicate right now. You know what I'm saying? She's on, like, the playing ground that she's on is uneven. She's unstable. You know, she fucked up right now.
Mm-hmm.
So anything that you say or do could be held against you in a court bedroom and shit. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, in a court of love, I should say. So yeah, it's yeah, man, be in a situation, you know, in a perfect world, we would mature with age. Like, you know how they say, when I was a child, I thought as a child, and blah, 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 blah. Well, sometimes you learn your biggest lessons of adult life while you're a child. So it can have an effect on what your maturity is. You know what I'm saying? What your maturity is. So adults ain't nothing but kids that grew up, that got older. Mm-hmm. Sometimes we carry a lot of our childhood lessons into our adult lives, which shouldn't be surprising because we kept getting checked for the way that we thought as when we were children. So if we kept getting checked and corrected for how we thought as children, then the way we got checked and corrected, we took that into our adult lives. Now, what if we were being taught wrong?
Right.
Now we think that the wrong thing is the right thing to do, and we think that we're mature in doing it. Shit is fucked up. Mm-hmm. You know, shit is fucked up. But, you know, when it all comes down to it, we all have to learn how to communicate better. But we might not have a good communications teacher. And we may not be very good communicators ourselves. We might be trying, but we might not be there. We ain't there yet. We struggling. The struggle is real. The struggle is real.
I know, because I was talking to Arifa and Lufa the other day, and we was talking about scripts.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So y'all understand that struggle.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah, man.
But it's not even the communication part. Even if you do communicate well, you gotta listen to the communication.
Well, how do you know if you're communicating well?
Well, because if you know if you communicate well, if that person is listening. And if they're listening, you're going to see somewhat of a change. Maybe not that night or maybe not that day, but as time grows on, you're going to see the change of what you communicated to that person. But if that person is just, if you communicating and that person is not listening, you're not going to see a change. And even if you're communicating to a person about either how you feel or how you want things done, right? It doesn't, if that person already in their mind get ready to rebut what you're saying, then they're not listening to what you're saying because they're so quick to go on the defense and so quick to not listen to what you're saying or adapt to what your feelings are. So soon as you talking to that person and you speaking to that person and they say, I understand, but no, you don't understand. Because you just put that conjunction there. You put that but right there. Once you put that but in there, you just washed away everything the fuck I just said. So you don't understand what I'm saying. Because when a person understands what they're saying, if a person is attentive to you and they're listening to you, they be quiet. And then they listen. And after you finish saying something, the conversation can end right then and there. But they don't want the conversation in there because they're going on the defense because they think that you're coming at them instead of just coming to them. But that big difference. Mm-hmm. Like if you just sitting up here telling a person how you want things to be, how you want things to for the betterment, and that's another thing. people don't want to change. You can tease a person, or you can say out of love, or you can this and other, but you have to be willing to change for the betterment of the relationship.
So, all right. So I talk about communication a lot.
Yeah,
And
me and you both.
but here's the thing about communication. Communication from my point of view is sending and receiving, sending and receiving. You can be communicating well even and still disagree. Sometimes people think that communication is all about finding a happy medium, and it's not always about that. Like I can hear you and understand everything that you're saying, but totally disagree with it. Like I can think that you're totally off base. You've definitely gotten your point across about how you feel or what you think, but I may disagree with it. So of course I'm not going to change because of the way that you were telling me that you feel or what you think, even though you communicated it well. But I just don't think that you're right. So I'm not going to change in that way. Now, what needs to happen is that we both respect each other. That's the best, to me. That's the best evidence of um of communicating with each other.
Yeah.
Hopefully we're communicating about something that we can we can disagree respectfully on and still have some type of relationship. So um so yeah, now I understand what you said when you say that, if somebody has to listen to what you're saying, and they do. But based on what they have learned, how they grew up and their experiences and all that kind of stuff, they may be able to listen to you, but they may not be able to agree with you. They may see things in a totally
that's
different
where
way.
the communication on their part becomes. Listen, I'm listening to what you're saying, and I can try to make a change, but you also have to understand that how I was brought up, this circumstance, and then that gives you an opportunity to understand why they come off the way they come on, and that's when you find the common ground of communicating that. And even if you're just listening, right, and the conversation dies down, you can always come back and say, well, because it gave you an opportunity to sit back and think about what the person said to you. Because if you when you just jump back and forth, as soon as somebody says something to you, and then you jump right back into the conversation with something else, you really didn't get enough time to really think about what I just said. You couldn't wait to speak back. And as we already know, some women, not all women, but some, I say 99.9% of women, they go on the defense so quickly that they just jump right back in the conversation and not really understand. You're not coming at them, you're just talking to them and trying to give a common ground of how you feeling. Your love is so deep for them that you want them to change some parts about them for you, just like you're willing to make changes for them. You know what I mean? If you don't communicate to say, well, I don't really like that tease and stuff. It don't sit right with me. Because I don't want to come back and forth and tease you, and then you feel some type of way. You understand? Now, if you don't say that, it's going to continuously say it, come off like that.
Yeah.
But if you sit back, like if she teases or he teases, right, and then you let it die down and you laugh, giggle, and chuckle it off, it's cool. But then you come back and that's when you come back and be like, look, I don't mind having fun, but that teasing back and forth and saying what you said out your mouth, it didn't sit right with me, and I don't think we should play that way.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, if something is insulting to you and somebody thinks that they have the green light to do it anyway, like now a woman really wouldn't appreciate it if she's struggling with weight issues and you running around here calling her my chubby wubby. You know what I'm saying? She ain't gonna like that shit. You know what I'm saying? And now you're not teasing her about being in love with you, but you are teasing her about something that she's sensitive, and she may be seriously working on that right now, and whatever. And you even though you're playing around with her or just playing around with her, you might be fucking with her spirit and her motivation, and she don't like that shit. You know? So yeah, it's important for a person to know.
What you call her again?
You know, my chubby wubby. Hey, where's my chubby wubby? Come here, my baby. My chubby wubby. You know what I mean?
Chubby wubby.
You know, some shit like that.
My little chubby wubby.
My little chubby wubby. You know, and you like, I ain't mean nothing about that, babe. You know, I love you. I don't care. I don't care about your weight or whatever. I love you just the way you are, blah, 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 blah. And she like, no, but the way I am is not acceptable because I'm not comfortable. So how can I really love you the way that I really want to love you when I'm not comfortable in my own skin? I'm not comfortable. I'm not confident in my own skin or with my own person, and which is going to make me concentrate on myself more than being able to, you know, give you more time, more energy. You know, and on top of that, you calling me chubby wubby. Like, you not helping, dog. You not helping. You know?
The chubster.
You know? So, you know, little things like that can get in the way. You know? It can get in the way. Now, you wasn't teasing her about being in love with you, but who's to say that she's not going to take it that way?
Yeah.
You know? Like,
see, that's one thing about it is that's why I always tell people that it's like my son. You know, he's my oldest son. So he probably, I don't know, girlfriend, fiance, wife. I don't know what they are.
Yeah.
You know, the mother of his daughter, his son, right, or my grandson, and I try to tell him, you cannot just say shit out your mouth in the heat of an argument. Because it sticks. The words stick. Even if it's not an argument and y'all playing with one another and you say something out your mouth, or she says something out her mouth to you, it sticks.
Mm-hmm.
People will remember what the fuck you called them or what you said.
They remember how you made them feel.
Yeah. Depending on how you made them feel. If you made them feel like shit, they remember the time, the date, the year, what y'all had on, all that shit.
Shit, even animals do that.
Yeah.
They remember who fed them, treated them nice, petted them, and they know who kicked them, you know, hurt them, scared them. You know, they remember.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you have to, you know, when you teasing people in a relationship, when you teasing out of love and it triggers an emotion, always remember, sometimes the communication and the listening part are two vital avenues in it. You know what I mean? And you have to be able to do that. And sometimes you got to listen and walk away and then come back and talk later about it just so you can get to understand what's going on. Because that person that you just sat up there and teased, you teased the one that loves you. You know what I mean? You don't know how you made him feel because he might have been, that might have been some type of traumatic shit he went through as a kid too, being teased.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. We always go back to our childhood. That shit always creeps back in.
Yeah, man. You know what I mean? A lot of people don't understand. I don't care if you 1 or 101. You always remember the words that hurt you and the people that hurt you.
That's true.
You always won't remember that.
Always.
You know what I mean?
You gonna carry.
I'm 56 years old, and I still remember the shit my father did, and his mother did. My grandmother did.
Okay.
And I know that it still affects me because I just don't understand how can you do that to a kid. You know what I mean? But and sometimes words, the actions hurt even more than the words sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So I mean,
Wait, you said the actions hurt more than the word?
I say sometimes the actions can hurt even more than the words because when it comes to my father, his actions, his lack of action, or his action period of not doing shit, he didn't ever say nothing bad about me. He just didn't do shit.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. Sometimes the action can be just as hurtful as the words. You know, it can be actions of putting in action, or it can be a lack thereof. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Some things need to come with an explanation.
Well, that's the best thing, man. Some things need to come with an explanation.
But all explanations ain't good.
They don't have to be good. At least there's an explanation.
Wait a minute. I wouldn't say that they don't need to be good because somebody might do some fuck shit to you and they explain it and you like, say what? So let me get this straight. You basically burned down and torched our village because you was having a bad day, basically.
Yeah,
that's your explanation.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I say it ain't always a good explanation.
It ain't always a good explanation. Yeah, you're right.
You know what I mean? So, we can't just take everything at face value like it's sufficient. Because some things are totally insufficient, and you might be expected to accept some shit. Like, how many times have people told you that you need to accept the way they are because that's the way they was raised?
Yeah, I've heard that before.
Plenty of times. It's always the most fucked up people who insist on being the way that they are.
Yeah.
It ain't the decent people. Decent people are always willing to make adjustments.
And that's the most important. You like if that was the way they was raised, then and I know how I was raised. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that my pop was never around my pop, but yeah, when I was around my pop, he was getting his snort on, he was smoking his weed. He didn't really give me no time. Took me in bars at a young age. You know what I mean? So, I mean, shit. Yeah, so when I sit back and if that's the case, then I should be the same as my pop then to my children. Well, I was raised that way, so I just thought I'd do y'all the same way. Treat y'all like shit. No, we're not using that excuse. Because when you was raised, if you see, like, it's some people that you be like, I know why you act that way. You act just like your fucking mother. And you ain't got to even say that's how you was raised. You can be around both. You can be around them, the mother, and be like, damn, that apple is stuck in midair. It ain't even hit the ground.
Mm-hmm.
Ain't far from the tree. It's still in the air.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I mean that shit. You're absolutely correct. But the one thing you said was, sometimes things need an explanation. It might not be a good explanation, or it might be the explanation might be hurtful. But what thing about it is that sometimes you need the explanation, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, for closure.
Well, it might not. It might not close. It might lead to even more questions. But I understand. You got to say something. You know what I mean? You can't just walk away from the situation. Because life won't allow you to do that. Yeah. You know what I mean? You gonna have you may not explain yourself over here, but you're gonna explain yourself over there. The requirements over there might not give you the opportunity to not explain. You might be able to get away with it over here. because they don't have the authority to make you speak up. But over here, that could be the difference between you being on the streets or in a cell.
Yeah.
So you're going to give an explanation. I hope you make it good, because your whole your freedom depends on it, you know. And you know, but we all get faced with that. So, you know, my dad used to like to say, there's a difference between an excuse and an explanation. And there is.
Yeah.
And when your explanation sounds like an excuse to somebody, you know, you got a problem. Or vice versa, when their excuse sounds like an explanation. You know what I'm saying? So it can be, our ears aren't always trained to hear things the way that they're being communicated, which can cause a synapse in communication. There's a break. It's not connecting the way it's supposed to connect. So, you know, we have to do something to try to, you know, improve the communication and get on more of the even if we're not on the same page, at least let us be reading from the same book and agree with whatever's being said on the pages, you know, being written on the pages or whatever.
Yeah.
You know, even if we're not there at the same time. Like, if I start reading the Bible, you start reading the Bible, we're probably, even if we both chose to read it all day, we're probably not reading it at the same pace.
Right.
So you may be in a certain book, and you may have interpreted what you read differently than what I interpreted and read. So we're reading from the same book, but we're not getting the same type of information. Will it become a problem? Well, we'll see. Because we might or we might not. We might be able to say, well, at least we're reading from the same book. You know, I'm a little farther than you are, or you're a little farther than I am, but I'll catch up, you know, when I catch up. But let's just keep reading. At least we are agreeing on the book. And when you're talking about being in love with somebody, that's probably a decent place to try to get to. Like, we do love each other, right? Now, maybe you feel like I love you more than you love me, or whatever. Or maybe you feel like you love me more than I love you, or whatever. But we don't have to battle for who feels more about the other. Let's just be satisfied that at least we do feel the same way, in love with each other. Now, let's go about making sure that we give each other what we need in order to feel good about this union. Mm-hmm. Can we do that? Now, that's about the easiest, most simplified way that I could put it. If somebody allows whatever they're going through or whatever y'all going through to get in the way of that, then they don't want to be together. They don't want to be comfortable. Some people, you know, like some people like to see other people scared. Yeah. Well, just like some lovers like to see the person that loves them, they like to see them uncomfortable. They like to see them in a press situation where they can't think right or whatever, because it's just a form of power. And power in the wrong hands, that shit is horrifying.
Yes, it is. You're absolutely correct on that.
Mm-hmm.
You're absolutely correct on that. You know, because when people feel as though they got, and you know, and that's fucked up. That people would they want to develop a power structure within themselves and within the relationship, and it hinders your significant other so badly.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and it fucks them up. It fucks them up mentally. You know what I mean? Instead of just being at one as one, you want to have the upper hand. I got him by the fucking balls. I know he liked this, but why you say I'm gonna take that away? Okay.
But see, that's what I'm saying. That's I said being in love with an asshole, or being with somebody that's looking for toxicity. They don't want love to shine. They feel more comfortable. I mean, they on some demonic shit. You know, they want to see you. They want to see you uncomfortable. They want to see you afraid. They want to see you, lacking confidence, and they want to be able to control all of that. Something about them is so dark and so fucked up and so demonic and so devilish and so screwed up that they don't want to see the person that they claim that they love. They don't want to see them doing well. They want to push the red button, never the green button.
Yeah.
And earlier in the show, I was talking about being in a relationship where you're constantly at a yellow light.
Damn.
You know what I mean? Like with a yellow light is confusing. Some people, when you driving, some people feel like, yo, it's a yellow light. Hurry up so we can get through. And some people are driving so slow that the light is green, then it turns yellow, and you behind them, and you like, yo, you made us fucking miss that light. And in some areas of the country and some cities, late at night, they have flashing yellow lights at intersections. Now, what is that flashing yellow light telling you? It's telling you that, you can go through this intersection, but show caution. Because you don't know if the intersection has a flashing red light to where they're supposed to stop, or if they have a flashing light too. So y'all both have the right of way to keep going, but y'all are expected to be careful and drive at a pace where you would be able to avoid an accident. Being like that in a relationship is hard because you may not, your interpretation of what that yellow light or that flashing yellow light is different. You don't know what the fuck to do.
Yeah.
You might be more comfortable as a passenger letting somebody else make that decision about that yellow light than actually being the driver. Because you don't know what that yellow light is trying to, all you know is that you're supposed to make sure that you keep your head on a swivel and no matter what, you can't speed up.
Yeah. Makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. So being in a relationship situation like that is tough. But somebody may have created that situation on purpose. And that's who you fucking with. Like, so that's who you in love with right there. Well, that's your case. You ain't got to worry about nobody trying to pick this case up for you. You know what I mean? It's just you and her, or you and him.
Well, hey, that's y'all's. Y'all together.
Yeah, if y'all even together. You know what I'm saying? Like, are y'all together? Y'all something. All we know is ain't nobody envying this union. Like, y'all got that shit. That shit crazy. All right, man, let's do this poll question. All right, let's do the poll question. The poll question is simple. Would you lend somebody more money before they pay you back the money that you lent them before? Basically, if you lent somebody some money and they didn't pay you back yet, but they came to you needing more money, would you give them more money? All right. So what are your feelings about that initially?
It depends on the circumstances.
Okay. All right.
Depends on the circumstances.
And I think a lot of things depend on the circumstances. I know for me, it definitely depends on the circumstance. It depends on the circumstances for me.
In the individual.
I was just about to say, it depends on the person. Like should I say it depends on the relationship.
Right.
Yeah, it depends. Like if I don't know you, I'm not lending you no money off the rip. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I might give you money, but I'm not gonna lend you money. Like, what's this about? You know what I'm saying? Like, how you borrow money from somebody you don't know? Well, we do that with banks, but you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But anyway. All right. So would you lend somebody more money before they paid you back the money that you lent them in the first place? All right. 40% said no and hell no. Wow. All right. All right. 36% said it depends on the situation. 8% said it depends on the amount of money. Actually, I think that's something to take into consideration.
Yeah, that's part of it.
Mm-hmm. And 16% said, I thought the first loan was enough. In other words, some people lend some people money to get them away because they know they ain't going to pay them back. So that's their way of getting them out of their hair. Right. Like, I know if he owe me money, I ain't going to hear from him no more because, he don't want to pay me back or have to confront me about the money that they owe me. So I'm gonna just go ahead and lend them this $50, and I ain't got to worry about him bugging me for the next 6 months. It happens, or longer. You know what I mean? Or longer. So, all right, but most people say no and hell no. Like, I ain't lending you no money till you pay me back, which is not a bad way to feel because some people take unfair advantage of that shit. Yeah, you know what I mean? True. They just adding on and piling on and piling on and piling on. Like, I was wait a minute. I know I was dealing with a situation close to this earlier. What was I thinking about? It'll come to me later, probably as soon as I turn the camera off. You know what I mean? It's all good though. But yeah, I mean, sometimes you're not always in a situation where you can make the decision not to give, even though you know that there won't be a return anytime soon. Sometimes you just have to make that executive decision. And unfortunately, and fortunately, in a love situation, you might just have to go ahead and eat that. You know what I mean? So you eating the cost of the loan and the fucking fees. Like, god damn. I went to settlement and I ain't even selling shit. God damn. You know what I mean? I ain't got no house. I ain't got no, like, what the fuck am I doing at the settlement table? Paying all the fees. Like, this liens against this property and all of this shit. Where is it? All right, but yeah, man, shit is real wild out here. So it's real wild. But yo, man, I appreciate you coming through.
Well, man, I'm gonna come through. And anytime I can wake up, either I'm gonna be up or I'm gonna wake up. But I'm gonna call in, bro. You know what I mean? Everybody in the chat, be blessed, be safe. Like I said, it takes a village to raise these babies. So keep an eye on these youngins and make sure they're okay.
Facts.
I mean, stay hydrated and stay safe.
Without a doubt.
I mean? Be blessed, man. Much love to you, man. I'm gonna talk to you.
Much love to you too.
All right, fam.
We have some birthday shout outs to do. Some people were born on this glorious August 6th, and they deserve to be acknowledged. So let's go about our business of acknowledging them and making them feel special because they are special, because they are special, because they are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They are SPECIAL. They get the RESPECT. They get number one out the box, Yvette Victoria Wilson and Charlene Monroe, Patricia Bright, Malu M. Balon, Steph Lafleur, Davis Tarawali, Olu Yemi Yemisi, Thomas Felder, and last but not least, my old school buddy going all the way back to the 1986, 1987, my girl Darnella Nash. I want to say happy birthday to all of y'all. And I hope that today finds you all in good health, happiness, mind, body, soul, and spirit. And that goes out to each and every person out there born on this glorious August 6th, anywhere out there in the world, worldwide, internationally, and universally. All of y'all go ahead and turn up. But don't turn up too loud. Just turn up loud enough so everybody can hear you. Rock out. Rock on and do the damn, the rock out. Rock on and do the damn rock out. Rock on and do the damn thing. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. You do your thing, y'all. Represent the queens and kings. Good things happen to those who wait. Great things happen to those who grind. And anything can happen to those who go for theirs. So go hard, go for yours, and remember, yo, we gon' always have to remember that sometimes we fall in love with the wrong one, but it feels so right, you know what I'm saying, son? Yeah, it feels right. Sometimes body and mind, sometimes you ain't in the right body. I mind being taken unfair advantage of. Sometimes the joint fits like a glove. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah, it's fitting tight. It's just like perfect fitting right. But the mind ain't fitting right. The brains ain't going into the right things with all my might. But you keep on pushing and keep pushing and keep pushing. Yeah, your body's still mushing. Sex can't fix everything, and you can't always give the birth to the kings. And the rings around your finger might be sometimes the rings around your mind. Yeah, you'll find that you gotta do better for yourself. So sometimes you might have to jump off the boat and grab your coat. And you say that I gotta go. I can't be around this situation no more. I really tried to do it. I tried to make sure the things was flowing just like fluid. I got to it. I got to the bag, but it made me mad. And I had the worst time in my life I ever had. And I thought I had the greatest love of all, but I only had a situation in which I would take a fall. And I had to fall, I had to stumble, but I shouldn't be with long with no jaw that makes me want to rumble. I love your face. I shouldn't want to rearrange it, but I had to get my mindset and just straight change it. Put it in a better place. Had to get to a better run and a better race. So even if I had to wait and bide my time, like my man, I'm always going to shine. And I had somebody want me to shine with them. So in my memory, I won't forget them. It's okay, and it's all right. And sometimes you dim your light and you can shine bright. But get back on your horse, of course, and everything is going to be all right. The choice is going to be the one that we made out here. Everything's going to be all right. I grab my gear and made sure I build a life for us two. It's going to be all right for me and you. Hey, greatest love of all. But that's like summer, winter, spring and fall. I stand tall, 7 foot, maybe even 8. Yo, I think you can relate. I state the facts, break backs, to break my spirit. I don't want to even think about it or hear it. Yeah, I'm going to repair this. I'm going to give me the therapy and put it on my list. Your kiss was on my list. And I scratched it off and I erased that bitch. All right, y'all. Peace to all my day ones, my everydays, and my brand news. I love y'all to death. Resuscitate y'all. Love y'all right back to life. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be back tomorrow night. We will be back tomorrow night. Y'all know that tomorrow night is music night, and we are talking about paying homage to the East Coast. So all of your singers, bands, artists from the East Coast, we're going to talk about that tomorrow night. Last week, we talked about the Dirty South. The week before, we talked about the West Coast. Now it's time for the East to step up. This should be interesting. Not just in hip hop, but all around. So make sure y'all come through tomorrow night. Y'all know we have fun on Friday nights talking about music. We can't go wrong with that. We can disagree. We can argue, fuss, and fight. Like, I think this band is better than that band. This singer is better than that singer. This voice is better. But nonetheless, we have a good time. So, yo, hit the like button, share the show, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, and yo, y'all have a good night. Be safe, man. Peace to you and your fam. My man Clay. Hey, peace, y'all.